My name is Macy Mount, and I am a business development director and account executive for a company called More. And so More, Moore, it's a for-profit fundraising firm that helps nonprofits fundraise. So most of our clients are nonprofits. Lots of them you've heard of: American Red Cross, Wounded Warriors Project, and whole gamut of others. So I got to work in the development department at LI, for short, Leadership Institute. And it was really incredible because I got to see how it was my first window into how fundraising works. Nonprofits need to fundraise in order to keep doing the great work they're doing. And so I really loved what the Leadership Institute's mission was. And so getting to work every day talking with donors and looking for new donors was really meaningful to me. So on a day-to-day basis, I spent a lot of time just thanking donors. So I did a lot of phone calls, cold calls, just to thank people who had donated to the Leadership Institute. And I did lots of handwritten thank you notes to make sure donors know that we're grateful for them. And it's kind of a win-win. You do want to let them know you're grateful, but also once they know you appreciate them, they're also going to be more likely to give again, which is also important. My internship inspired me to pursue a career in the nonprofit sector in a pretty interesting way, because I didn't go straight into nonprofit sector. So my story's a little uncharacteristic. After my nonprofit internship, like I mentioned, I interned in the Senate and then in the White House. So right after college, I actually worked in the government. I was a speechwriter at the White House, and I loved lots of things about that job. But the main thing I loved was actually the storytelling component that writing speeches has. A lot of people don't think about that, but I really loved that. Well, after about 3 years of working in politics, I was looking for something different because I missed that really personal aspect that comes with nonprofit work. So these nonprofits are on the ground changing lives. You've got, educational nonprofits that are helping make sure all different types of people get a good learning experience. You have veteran nonprofits that are making sure those who fight for our country are being served on a daily basis. You have evangelical organizations that are sharing the gospel with people. And so I liked working in politics, but it wasn't quite as on the ground as I wanted to be. So I found myself looking for jobs with nonprofits, these missions I cared about, kind of like the Leadership Institute where I had interned first. And so after lots of prayer and looking, I actually stumbled upon More, which is the company I work for now. One piece of advice that was shared with me through some of my supervisors in my internship and just through experience is stay humble. And as an intern, what I took this to mean is you do whatever is asked of you and you do it with excellence. So if you're asked to shred paper, you shred paper as well as you can and as quickly as you can and move on to the next task. If you're asked to do maybe what some would consider more substantial things like calling people or writing newsletters, you do that as well as you possibly can, and then you move on to the next task. So don't be too proud to do some interesting, what may seem like menial things as an intern, because you'll gain the trust that you need. And once you gain trust, they'll send more work your way, and just always be looking to learn more and do more. And so just cultivate that humility and spirit of learning. Students should work in the nonprofit sector for two reasons. My first one is if you are mission oriented in any way and you love people, there's no better place to work than a nonprofit, especially a nonprofit whose mission you care about. So you'll know you're changing lives if you are working with a nonprofit, because they're not in it for the profit, and they just care about people, and they want to make a difference. So that's the first reason. The second reason is there's just boundless opportunity in the nonprofit sector. If you are kind of like me and you like the creative writing and storytelling side of it, there's tons of space for you to explore that on a, if it's a direct mail campaign your nonprofit is doing, or digital ads that your nonprofit is doing. There's so many opportunities for that. Graphic design. If you're an organizer who loves to plan, most nonprofits do several events a year where they're raising money or they're throwing it for the people that they serve. You could be a great event planner if you like relationships. Nonprofits are all about that, whether it's serving the people that they want to support or whether it's communicating with donors. That's all about relationship building. If you're a numbers guy or gal, you get to track data. So there's just tons of opportunities all within the nonprofit sector. And it's exciting. It's an exciting industry to work in.